Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Oh man, it just continues to get even dumber day by day. These leftoids are really grasping at straws, I'll tell you that one. It's very clear, it's very evident they just don't want to let this go. And so the goalposts keep moving and the pathetic attempts to counter keep getting worse and worse and worse. And at this point, we are reaching levels that are beyond parody. Yeah, we covered this photo yesterday. Donald Trump posing with a picture of Kilmar Brego Garcia's hand tattoos, and on the photo you could clearly see that they superimposed an MS-13 as well as other indicators to show basically what the interpretation of the tattoo is, and it's very obvious that they added that. But of course we know these bad faith left-wing actors now, don't we? Oh, we know them very well. And while they're doing pretty much exactly what you'd expect, they're now taking this as yet again another opportunity to twist and manipulate the facts. Liberals are actually throwing a tantrum over this photo that is clearly marked by the White House and visibly annotated, and they're claiming that it's photoshopped and that Donald Trump is fabricating evidence. Yeah, it's possibly the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so clearly these people are either extremely malicious and dishonest, or they're so freaking dumb to the point where it makes my head hurt. I mean, have they never seen a label on a photo before? Do they not understand what an annotation is? Of course Trump didn't alter the tattoo. The letters MS-13 that were added to the photo aren't meant as a dishonest Photoshop to make it seem as if he had those letters tattooed on his fingers. It's a flat overlay, added to illustrate what the tattoo is suspected of meaning. I mean, what kind of room temperature take is this? Are we seriously supposed to believe that this is the Photoshop fabrication that the White House came out with? What's this text, like Times Roman, slapped flat over his knuckles? Not even following the flow or orientation of his fingers? These people are out of their damn minds. And clearly, if you have two working brain cells, you should be able to understand that this is standard stuff. Police departments, feds, even journalists always use methods like this to break down visual identifiers in an image. But now, according to the left, it's fabricated evidence, and that's what fascists do. No, seriously, I mean, just look at this Mediaite headline. Trump touts seemingly doctored photo of Abrego Garcia's hand in attempt to prove Marilyn Mann is a gang member. Funny how they lead with the whole Marilyn Mann thing again. The absolute nerve of these people to once again dishonestly attempt to spin this story and cover it as a fake image or fabricated image in a clear attempt to completely ignore what is actually at stake. They're not disputing the tattoo. They're not going into details over what it could or could not mean. No, they're attempting to make the claim that Donald Trump and his dishonest, corrupt fascist minions photoshopped the tattoo to cover up their crimes. Insane, absolutely insane. I mean, the nerve of these people always manages to amaze. It's very obvious that they want to avoid the conversation. They want to continue to distract and move the goalposts. This guy has confirmed MS-13 affiliations. He's got tattoos and clothing that clearly align with gang symbolism and iconography. He's got a history of domestic violence, which by the way has me thinking, what happened to believe all women?
But Congressman, I'll ask you, did Democrats pick the wrong hero?
We don't know, because there was no due process. We actually have not seen the evidence go
What happened to believe all women?
Judge. Pardon me?
What happened to believe all women?
Well, you know, I don't know about that. All I know is that he did not have due process. He did not go before a judge. When he did go before a judge, everybody said, keep him here, don't send him back, because there are gangs that are, you know, it's a peril to his life. He did have a court order that allowed him to stay here. The Trump administration deported him anyway.
Yeah, what happened to the believe all women stance, right? This guy's wife had a restraining order against him. Now we got Democrats going out of their way to defend him. He was also caught human trafficking, but nope, the mainstream media doesn't want to talk about any of that. None of these leftoids want to talk about any of it. No, the real story is that Donald Trump photoshopped MS-13 on this innocent, poor father's hand in an attempt to dishonestly frame him as a gang member. These people are out of their damn minds. Yeah, instead they're literally lying about the obvious here and attempting again to make the point that it's proof of Trump's fascism. Look at this post right over here. This Twitter user writes, Trump fabricates a photo of Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia. I don't know why I find that funny, as if he's just an innocent grade school teacher or something. He fabricated a photo of Mr. Garcia with MS-13 tattoo on his hand. This is not a real image. Yes, it is, but okay. Please understand that the Trump regime would fabricate evidence to put you or your family in jail. This is what fascist regimes do. Oh, Lord. Like I told you guys, my brain is freaking hurting. Yeah, instead of showing genuine concern that this individual is very likely an MS-13 member who was operating in the country, this is what we get. Trump's a fascist, and he's gonna slap MS-13 tattoos in crude Times New Roman Photoshop on top of your grandma's head so he could use the Alien Enemies Act to put Mima in prison for the rest of her life. He's gonna send her to Guantanamo, he's gonna send her to Seaside in El Salvador. What is going on? I mean, the leaps, the twisting is just on a whole other level. And speaking of that, actually, we've got this MSNBC meltdown where they're doing the typical grift.
We've been talking about this all week, but Janae Nelson of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, she penned an op-ed in The Nation this week. And her op-ed talked about that we think that democracies are, the way they die is dramatically through these wars and blood is shed. And it's cinematic in a sense. But really, the realistic way in which democracies die is it is dismantled brick by brick, piece by piece. And she says that what we are seeing now with the lawlessness from this administration are really the canaries in the coal mine gasping for air. I'm paraphrasing here. To me, that is why Kilmar Abrego Garcia's specific case, the case of the gentleman who's a makeup artist out of California who was also sent to that prison, that is why the 75% of the folks who have been sent, the men who have been sent there that don't have criminal records, that is why this is so important. Because if they could do it to them, if they could snatch students off the street without any pushback or recourse, they will do it to any of us. And to be very clear, it's going to be the people of color and vulnerable communities that are next in line.
Yep. This all proves that Donald Trump's a fascist, and he's coming for black people next. Lord help us all, please. Every single time, right? Using black plight and black struggle as a shield for Democrat insanity, and in this case, to defend illegal migration and illegal gang members operating in the country. Totally frickin' insane. Nothing but fear-mongering of the most hysterical and desperate kind. And honestly, the saddest part of all this is that there's actually people dumb enough to fall for this crap. Which is interesting because your typical leftist Redditor is always acting like the only true intellect in the room, right? They're always condescending towards us. I'm a big brain Reddit moderator, and you're a hillbilly fascist. But clearly, if this is the stuff that passes as news on the left, then obviously the general audience can't be that smart now, can they? These people have frickin' lost the plot. No, Donald Trump did not fabricate the tattoo. The tattoo is clearly visible in all the shots. They simply put a little bit of annotation to identify what the perceived meaning is. And the fact that I even have to explain that, well, it's honestly baffling. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.